So this is the Girimananda Sutta again. And this is on the perception of danger and how to develop that. Here, a bhikkhu, having gone into seclusion, reflects, meditates. This body is a lot of pain, dukkha, a lot of danger. In this body, there arise all sorts of illnesses, such as eye disease, hearing disease, body disease, etc. Ear, mouth disease, nose disease, toothache, stomachache, coughing, fainting, diarrhea, illnesses born from the change of seasons, illnesses born from poor attention, sudden illnesses, heart attack, poof, brain aneurysms, illnesses born from the result of one's actions, hangovers, cold, heat, hunger, thirst, excreting and urinating. He lives as one who sees the danger in this body. So he develops that perception.
Yeah, because the body is always there in the back of your mind. You start to see it there, it will be quite effortless because it's always there. It is a basis for your experience. So the clearer you see there, the clearer its nature and characteristics just described there will become. So by being mindful of the body, you're mindful of all these things implicitly. That's the clarification and the contemplation that sort of rewrites the significance of your body. Now, for an undeveloped mind, the significance of the body is something that's seen as mine. It's something that's seen as a basis for pleasure. It's something that's seen as a basis to protect what's mine, something to protect from others as well, to protect from the elements. You don't see it as that upon which your life depends, and yet something that's not in your control. You see it as something that belongs to you, something that is you, let's say like that. So you want to rewrite that significance by contemplating the body for what it really is. Because as I said, if the body were not truly subject to all these things, well, there would be no problem. And certainly the contemplation would not be necessary. But because the body is truly subject to these things, contemplating it, then you could see it for what it is. Because it truly is like that. You're covering up those aspects because they're unpleasant. So when somebody dwells and established correctly in the perception of danger, that doesn't mean he's constantly going in just danger. No, means he rewrote the significance of that body that he sees peripherally enduring as a basis for this experience, and it's implicit in it. It just sits there in as the same way the body sits there. All these implications of what the body is subjected to is there. Thus, none of that can be taken now as mine, because it's clearly seen as an alien thing, a bag of skin. All this subject to all these ailments and so on. It's like, even if you want to, you couldn't take it as yours.
It's fragile.
Yeah, it's just out of your hands. It's inaccessible to you.
And those things are not. It's not like, oh, that might.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things.
Yeah, the might aspect, it's on the level of a specific ailment. But the aspect of an ailment is sure. So death is possible in a sense of what type of how you might die. But the fact that you're liable to death, that's not a possibility. That's the reality. It's not like, oh, I might die. No, you will die. So the might and how pertains to how you will die, but not to whether you will die or not.
Well,
that's for sure.
Get ill?
How will I get ill? Yeah, there could be different ways, but one thing for sure, you will at some point.
As the Buddha says, one who thinks that he has health is a fool. There is no health. There's just this.
No. So the absence of specific illness means you're still ill with the possibility of illness at any given time.
Just, I'm not as ill today.
Yeah.
It's not as ill and ill.
Yeah, so health is just being less ill.
It's like that. It's not beautiful. It's just less ugly.
Less ugly, yeah. It's the same stuff. Yeah. So that's also the whole, the famous contemplation of organs and what the body consists of needs to be done on the peripheral level, with a peripheral thought, so to speak, not directly staring and looking at it. Needs to be done on the level of where you see your body as that kind of inaccessible basis for your life, for your ownership, for your attachments, yet it's not in your control. And in that basis that's not in your control, you start contemplating as a bag of skin, randomly operating organs, all of that's in there. Oh, that's going to be felt even more as something that's not in your control. Even more impermanent, even more dangerous to take as mind.
Yeah, it obviously coincides with it, a super practice of the organs. Because you see all those things are operating. Yeah, they're together.
On their own.
Yeah.
And you're just there as a sort of, paired with it,
Yeah.
just looking at it, not being able to do anything about it.
Hope,
Yet fully depending on it.
Yeah.
So
the heart is beating. And when is it going to stop? But how did it stop?
The fact that it's beating now means that possibility of it stopping now is also there.
Mm-hmm. But then you don't, okay, this body is just illness waiting to happen. I'm going to die anyway, so.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. If you take that as an abstract sort of, a direct sort of, figuring out, finding answers and explaining what the body is, it's not going to result in this passion, or very little. Now you want to be, again, establish mindfulness correctly, being peripherally aware of your body enduring there, and then on that level of that peripherally enduring body, start contemplating these things, and then passion will become impossible. So there's a difference between explaining it and setting it up as a contemplation that you're perceiving here and now by being mindful of the body. That's why you don't even need to be ill in order to contemplate this. Just the possibility of being ill is already pertaining on that body enduring there peripherally, and it's more than enough to set the whole context of this passion and danger towards things that you would get on account of a healthy body that you took as yours. And that's what you need to do. It's not about finding the answer or seeing that once. It's about discerning it on the peripheral level and then protecting it there for as long as it takes for you to become fully dispassionate and disenchanted with the life.
But seeing that threat, that danger, immediately. It's not
seeing that danger immediately, protecting it on that level, being mindful of it, allowing it to endure, and then, let's say, within the precepts, go on about with your life with the perception of that danger. That's already gonna start resulting in dispassion towards
that breathing. How do you develop the mindfulness of death? With in breath and out breath.
Yeah, the body breathing immediately in, breathing out. But again, it's not you catching it immediately.
Right.
It means context is imperturbable, that whether there is in or out breath, immediacy of possibility of death endures. So that's what it means. It doesn't mean like breathing in, I'm dying, I might die, breathing out, I might die. No. If mindfulness of the body is established strongly and sufficiently enough on that peripheral level, breathing in, breathing out, doesn't matter. Perception of death remains even within those acts. No matter how little they are. So that's why, that's the Buddha said, if that's how you practice mindfulness of death, there is no lapse in between.
Right, there's no lapse of that
context enduring to its full extent.
Mm.
It's not a full extent if it's kind of slightly delayed. Oh, I think I might die by the end of the day, or the other monk says I'll die by the end of this meal. One says I'll die by the end of in and out breath, and the one says I think I might die by the end of in breath or out breath. And the Buddha says, that's the full extent of the context that can be developed. In breath, full breath. But again, it's not that the monk who thought he might die the day he was wrong. He wasn't. It's still the same context of the same death established on the body, seen peripherally. It just was not fully developed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you stop doing that, do it like this. No, just what you're doing in terms of thinking you might die by the end of the day or by the end of the meal, you just need to upgrade further and think you might die even within acts within that. So make that context thoroughly imperturbable until everything is saturated by it, however little or insignificant. Breathe in, breathe out. That's it. And if that context endures like that, within a fortnight, mind will be an arahant.
Right. Yeah, because if there's
there's no room for passion to hide anymore. Everything's been saturated with it. So
and the carefulness, you see the threat there always.
Yeah.
then there's a carefulness that comes out of it.
Automatic, exactly, yeah, the result of it. Yeah.